So there was once an old sow who had three little piglets, but she was quite poor and she couldn't keep them, so she sent them off into the world to seek their fortune. Now the three little pigs set off down three different roads. The first little pig walked along his road until he came upon a man who was carrying a bundle of straw on his back. And the pig went up to the man and he said, "Oh, sir, please, could I have that straw so that I may make myself a house?" And the man gave the straw to the pig, and the pig went off and he built himself a beautiful straw house. But then along came the wolf. The wolf stood outside the straw house and he said, little pig, let me come in." And inside the house, the little pig said, "Oh, no, not by the hair on my chinny chin chin." And the wolf said, "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." And the wolf huffed and he puffed and he blew the little pig's house in. And then he pounced on the little pig and ate him. Now the second little pig walked along the second road until he came upon a man who was carrying on his back a bundle of sticks. And the pig went up to the man and he said, "Oh, sir, please, may I have those sticks so that I can build myself a house?" And the man gave the sticks to the pig, and the pig went off and built himself a beautiful house of sticks. But then along came the wolf. The wolf stood outside the stick house and he said, little pig, let me come in." "Oh, no, not by the hair on my chinny chin chin." "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." And the wolf huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed and he blew the little pig's house in. And then he pounced on the little pig and ate him. Now the third little pig was walking along the third road, and he came across a man who was hauling a load of bricks. And the pig went up to the man and he said, "Oh, sir, please, may I have those bricks so that I can build myself a house?" So the man gave the pig the bricks, and the pig took the bricks off and built himself a beautiful brick house. But then along came the wolf. The wolf stood outside the brick house and he said, little pig, let me come in." "Oh, no, not by the hair on my chinny chin chin." "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." And the wolf huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed and he huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed, but he just couldn't blow the little pig's house in. It was very frustrating for him, and he got quite angry, but he stood there outside the house and he thought, and he came up with a plan. The wolf said, "Little pig, do you like turnips?" "Oh, yes, I do. I very much like turnips. I know where there is a field full of beautiful turnips just ready to be picked." "Oh, really?" said the pig. Where is this field? Tell me about this miraculous field." "It's not very far away at all," said the wolf. It's a couple of fields over down the road. And would you like to go there with me?" "Yes," said the pig. "That sounds amazing. When should we go?" "How about tomorrow morning?" said the wolf. "I will come here to your house and I will pick you up at, let's say, 6. "Yay," said the pig. "I can't wait." And the wolf went away. So the pig went through his day, and then he went to sleep, and then in the morning he got up at 5, and then he went off to the turnip field, and he picked as many turnips as he could, as quickly as he could, and shoved them in his pockets, and then he went running back to his house, and he got there, and he closed the door just as the wolf turned up. Now the wolf saw the door closing, and he thought something was wrong, so he went up to the door, and he said, "Little pig, are you ready to go?" And the little pig from inside the house said, "Oh, no, I'm so sorry. Where is my head? I thought you said 5. I thought you weren't coming. I went by myself. I got so many turnips. You were right. They were wonderful turnips. But, oh, gosh, I'm sorry I missed you." Oh, the wolf had barely been looking forward to his pork breakfast, and he was a little upset again, but he stood there and he thought, and he came up with an alternate plan. The wolf said, "Little pig, do you like apples?" "Apples! Apples! I love apples! Everybody loves apples! I know where there's a tree that is absolutely full of beautiful ripe apples, apples that are just ready to be picked. That sounds like the best tree. Where is this tree?" The tree is not far from here. It's just past the field you were in today, in an orchard. Would you like to go with me?" Yes, I would. I would very much like to go with you. When should we go?" "How about tomorrow morning? And since you do seem to be an early riser, let's say 5. "Sounds good," said the pig, and the wolf went away. So the pig went through his day, and then he went to sleep, and the next morning he got up at 4, and he went off to the orchard as fast as he could, and he got up into the tree, which was indeed there as the wolf had said it was, and he started picking apples as fast as he could. But one thing that the pig had not taken into account was that the tree was a little further away, and that the wolf was beginning to get a little suspicious. So instead of going to the pig's house, he went directly to the orchard, and he arrived there just as the pig was coming down out of the tree. And the pig saw the wolf coming, and he kind of froze, and he was a little scared, but he was still up in the tree, so he just sort of hid his fear, and he said, "Wolf, you got here. Oh, I'm so sorry. I went early. I dreamt of apples all night. I was so excited. I couldn't wait for you. So I came myself, and I picked a bunch of apples, and there are enough for you too. Would you like me to throw you down one?" "Sure," said the wolf. "Throw me an apple. That would be fine." So the pig took an apple, and he threw it as far as he could. Now, the wolf is kind of dog-like, and therefore the wolf lit off after the apple kind of automatically, and as he did so, the pig nipped down out of the tree and back to his house on his little trotters, getting there just before the wolf. The wolf, so frustrated, so much. Just breathe, wolf, just breathe. Okay. So the wolf stood outside the house. He thought, and he came up with an alternate plan. And the wolf said, "Little pig, I feel bad that we keep missing each other like this. We could have so much fun together. Do you like fairs?" "Oh, yes, of course I like fairs. Everybody likes fairs. Fairs are the best." "There is a fair tomorrow in the village," said the wolf. "Would you like to go with me?" "I would," said the pig. "That sounds amazing. When should we go?" "Well," said the wolf, "since you are a very early riser, I'm thinking 4. "4 it is," said the pig, and the wolf went away. So the pig went through his day, and he went to sleep, and the next morning he got up at 3, and he ran off to the village as fast as he could, and indeed there was a fair, and it was starting very early, and it was a wonderful fair. The pig had a lot of fun there, wandering amongst the stalls and looking at all of the things. He had so much fun that he even bought himself something. He bought a butter churn, which he really needed. And then he left the fair, put the butter churn on his back, and headed off home. However, the butter churn was quite heavy, and the pig had spent a little longer at the fair than he had meant to, and therefore he was a little later than he thought he was going to be. And just as he got to the top of the hill not far from his house, down at the bottom of the hill, at the bottom of the road, he could see the wolf just starting up the hill. Now, the pig looked around for somewhere to hide, but there was nowhere. He was out in the open, and so, not knowing what else to do, he got inside his butter churn. In the process, he knocked it over, and the butter churn fell on its side, and because it is a butter churn, it's sort of, a barrel, it started to roll, and it rolled slowly down the hill, and then more quickly down the hill, then it started to bounce down the hill, until it was going at a great rate, and down at the bottom of the hill, the wolf saw this thing coming at him, and he had no idea what it was. He was just sort of, what, oh my, oh, what is that? And he was so afraid of it that he just lit out for the woods, as fast as he could. and the butter churn continued bouncing down the hill and finally rolled to a stop right in the little pig's front yard. The pig got out of the barrel, quite dizzy, and lugged the barrel into the butter churn into the house and closed the door. The wolf eventually got over his fright and lit out for the little pig's house to tell him this amazing story of this thing that had just happened to him. And the wolf got to the house and he said, little pig, I just saw something so strange. There was a rolling thing that came right at me. It was rushing and huge, and it almost got me. I don't know what it was. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about? And from inside the house, little pig said, oh, I'm so sorry. Yes. Where's my head? That was me. I was inside a butter churn. I thought that I would ride it home just as a little bit of a fun thing. I was at the fair really early today. I'm so sorry I missed you again. But yeah, that was me. It's not a problem. Not a problem at all. So sorry to miss you. The wolf had it. Oh, he had it. That was enough. That was just enough. The wolf, he couldn't think anymore. He couldn't stand there thinking of plans. He just jumped up onto the pig's roof, and he went straight for the chimney. But the pig inside the house could hear this happening, and not missing a beat, he went right over to the fireplace. Now, on the fire, he had earlier put a cauldron to cook his breakfast in. And he whipped the cover off of the cauldron. So the wolf, coming down the chimney and not really looking where he was going, went straight into the cauldron. And the pig took the cover and popped it back on the cauldron again. And then he kind of sat on it until the wolf stopped struggling. And for a little while after that. And the wolf cooked down into a nice stew. And the pig ate the stew for breakfast. And was very full and satisfied. And after that, the pig, living in the little brick house, lived happily ever after.